Good morning, my children, and welcome to your English class, the class of the teacher Jacob. So for today, my children, we're going to make an activity that is very entertaining and very interesting, and of course very important because we're going to deal again with the letters, okay? Now, this activity, my children, is part of your printed pages. So if you want to work along with the teacher Jacob, you have 5 seconds to grab the activity of today and your pencil case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's begin. Now the activity that you have on your hands is identical to the one that is behind the teacher. La actividad que ustedes tienen en casita es similar a la que está detrás del teacher Jacob, okay? Now, for this activity, like I mentioned it before, we're going to have a review of letters and most important parts of the calendar, including months of the year, days of the week, and seasons of the year. Para esta actividad vamos a hacer repasos no solamente de letras, sino también de las partes del calendario que hemos estado trabajando durante estos videos, como las que son los meses del año, días de la semana y estaciones del año. So, it's going to be very, very fulfilling and interesting. Así que va a ser muy interesante y nos va a ayudar a todos porque veremos dos temas para repasar. Now, the activity, the instructions of this activity are the next. As you can see here, on the top of the exercise, we have a rectangle containing information like days of the week, months of the year, and seasons of the year. We have words like Wednesday, October, winter, April, summer, vacation, calendar, Christmas, Monday, and Friday. Como pueden ver, pequeños, en la parte de arriba de nuestro ejercicio tenemos varias palabras que son partes del calendario. Ahora, estas palabras están en orden. That means that under we have words that are in this order, and according to the correct order, we have to put them in order to write the correct word, ¿ok? Como pueden ver, las palabras que tenemos arriba, pues son palabras que están en orden, están bien ordenadas. Y en la parte de abajo tenemos las palabras en desorden. Scramble letters. Tenemos las letras en desorden, completamente desordenadas. The activity consists in putting the words in order so they have the correct meaning. Lo que tenemos que hacer es poner cada una de estas palabras en orden, acomodarlas como van, letra por letra, para que al final pues podamos escribir aquí en la línea roja la palabra ya en orden. Okay? So that's why it's very important that we pay attention at the correct order of the letters to write the correct word. Por eso es muy importante ver el orden correcto de las palabras que están en orden para que al final nosotros podamos escribir la palabra correctamente. Okay? So, let's begin with the number 1. So, for the number 1, we have letters. We have the Y letter of yo-yo. We have the letter F. We have the letter A. The letter I, the letter R of Rodrigo, and finally the letter D of Diego. Now let's check in our rectangle for these letters. Vamos a buscar en nuestro rectángulo estas letras, a ver en qué palabra aparece. So I mentioned a Y. Let's look at words with Y. Okay, so we have a Y letter. Let's see, we have an F. Do we have an F in this part? No F. So this is not the word. Let's check another one. Remember, we're looking for words with Y. Recuerden que estamos buscando palabras con Y. Okay, here we have a Y. Vamos a ver si tenemos otras letras que se parezcan. Letter F, letter F, letter A, letter A, letter I of Indian, letter I, letter R of Rodrigo, letter R, and finally letter D of Diego. So this is the correct order and this is the correct word. So the word of the number 1, Friday. With your pencil, let's write the correct order of the letters. Vamos a escribir el orden correcto de las letras para que digan la palabra Friday. Okay, so that's the number 1. And once we have located in our rectangle, ya que la hayamos encontrado en nuestro rectángulo, we're going to mark it with an X. Podemos marcarla con un tache o una palomita para que no nos confundamos al buscar las demás palabras. Let's continue with the number 2. For the number 2, we have letters. We have N, I, R, W, E, and T. Now, once again, let's check in our rectangle to see these letters. Okay, letter N. Let's look for another letter N. Okay, here we have one. Letter I of Indian. Here we don't have it, no tenemos. So let's check in another square. Vamos a buscar en otro espacio. Letter N. Okay, here we have another N. Letter I of Indian. No, here we don't have letter I of Indian, so let's check again. Okay, letter N. Okay, here we have an N. Letter I of Indian. Letter R of Rodrigo. Letter W of window. Letter E of elephant. And finally, letter T of Tito. So this is the correct order of the letters. And the word is winter. The second word of the exercise, winter. Now, do you remember what is the meaning of winter? Invierno. And don't forget that winter is part of the seasons of the year. Es parte de las estaciones del año. Let's continue. I forgot. Remember to mark the found word. Recuerden marcar la palabra que encontramos. Let's continue with number 3. We have letters. We have letter T, V, N, O, I, C, A. Letter T of tomato. Okay, letter T of tomato. Letter V of vase of Veronica. Here we don't have it. Let's check in another space. Letter T. Okay, here we have letter T of tomato. Letter V of Veronica. Letter N of Nicole. Letter O of oval. Letter I of Indian. Letter C of Carlos. Letter A of Alondra. And another A of apple. So this is the correct order for the number 3. The word is vacation. Now, do you remember what is the meaning of the word vacation? In Spanish, vacaciones. And vacaciones, they occur on the month of July, which is part of the calendar months of the year. So once we have located vacation, mark it with an X. Let's continue with number 4. For the number 4, letter I, R, I, P, and A. Let's check letter I. I of Indian, here we don't have it. Here we don't have it. No, no I of Indian. Here we have one I of Indian. We have an R of Rodrigo. We have another, sorry, this is an L. This is L of Lily. I'm sorry, Lily. Okay, but let's continue with this. We have an L of Lily, an R of Rodrigo, an I of Indian, a P of Peter, and an A of apple. So this is the correct order of the words. The word is April. The correct order of the letters, I'm sorry. So the correct word, April. Once we have found it, let's mark this space because we have found the correct word. Let's continue with number 5. So we have letter D, O, N, Y, M, and A. Letter D of Diego. Here we have one. Letter O. No letter O. So let's check in another space. Letter D. Here we have letter D, but no letter O. No tenemos letter O. So let's continue checking. Here we have a letter D and a letter O. Letter N. Okay. Letter Y of yo-yo. Letter M of mother. And letter A of aunt. So this is the correct order of the letters. So for number 5, we have the word Monday. Okay, once we found it, let's mark these words. Let's continue with our number 6. For the number 6, we have letter R, O, B, O, T, E, and C of Christina. So, the letter R. Let's look words with letter R. Here we have a letter R, okay? Letter O, okay? Letter B of Brenda, another letter O, letter T of tomato, letter E of elephant, and letter C of Carlos. So the correct order of the letters, October. Don't forget, my children, that October is part of the months of the year. For number 7, I forgot to put an X on this part.